Good day. In this video we're going to look at fractions on fractions called compound fractions. Please don't look at this video if you don't understand common fractions plus and minus, common fractions times and divide. All these questions will start with the heading Simplify without a calculator. If you look here, you'll see I've got 2/3 divide by 1/9. The first thing we do is we pull them off each other, right? 2/3 divide by 1/9. Now it looks more familiar. We can apply the common fraction division rule. The rule says write down the 2/3, change the divide to a times, and tip the fraction at the back. 9 to the top, 1 to the bottom. We call it tip and times. Now you use the rules of common fractions multiply. You say 3 goes in itself once and 3 goes into 9 3 times. You times the 2 with the 3, you get a 6 at the top, and a 1 times 1 is 1 at the bottom. Final answer 6 in this case. Here is our next question. It says simplify without a calculator. We've got 7/3 divide by 28/9. You pull them off each other. 7/3 divide by 28/9. Copy down the 7/3, change the divide to a times and tip this fraction over. And we cancel. 3 goes in itself once and 3 goes into 9 3 times. 7 goes into itself once and goes into 28 4 times. Then you times the 1 with the 3, you get a 3 at the top, and the 1 times 4 is 4 at the bottom. 3/4 is our final answer. A lot of people like to simplify this by first breaking up the 9 into 3 times 3, 28 into 7 times 4. Then you can also cancel and say 3 goes in here once, and 3 goes in here once, 7 goes in here once, and 7 goes in here once. Then your final answer is still 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 4 is 4. This takes too much time, and you should be strong enough to go straight from what I showed you to the answer. Here we have our main sum of this video. It says here, simplify without using a calculator to give me a half plus 2/3 divide by a third minus a quarter. In fractions, you're supposed to know, we first work out the top, work out the bottom, and then divide them into each other later. So the first thing we do is we pull them off each other. We write the top down inside brackets, put the divide down, take the bottom and put that down inside brackets. Now we have a division here. We have a plus fraction sum and a minus fraction sum. You keep your division sign and you add these two fractions. We find the LCD, which is 6. I put it down with a long line on top. You ask, what do I times 2 to get to 6, which is 3? You times the top by 3, you get 1 times 3. You ask, what do I times 3 to get to 6? And that is 2, so you write plus 2 times 2. Do the same on the right hand side. This is a common fraction plus and minus problem. Write down your LCD, work out the top. Simplify the two brackets separately. Simplify them further. Keep the divide. Now that they're two loose units, I change the divide into a multiply and I tip this guy over. I cancel. 6 goes in itself once. 6 goes into 12 twice. 7 times 2 is 14, and 1 times 1 is 1. Final answer 14. Please stop the video and get your brain around this problem. If you can do this problem right from the beginning to the end without a mistake and understand what you are doing, you should walk up to anybody and say, I really understand my common fractions, plus, minus, times and divide. Let's quickly run through this problem. They gave me a half plus 2/3 divide by 6. Remember what I told you earlier in previous videos? Always make everything fractions. So I pull off the top, put it in brackets, put a divide, and put this guy 6/1. Add these two fractions, keep the divide, 6/1. Simplify this fraction fully, keep the divide, 6/1. Tip and times, 7 times 1 is 7, and 6 times 6 is 36. Because this video is part of the grade 8-9 syllabus and older, I just brought in a little bit of algebra. Sometimes they're going to give us a question like this, 24x over 16 divide by 32y over 48. Still fractions divide by fractions. You pull them off each other, put a divide between them. tip and times them. Now you can cancel. 8 goes into 16 twice. 8 goes in here 6 times. 8 goes in here 4 times. 8 goes in here 3 times. 2 goes in here once. And 2 goes in here 3 times. Times the 3 at the top with the x. Times the 3. Gives me 9x at the top. And then I multiply the 1 times the 4y. Gives me 4y at the bottom. Final answer, 9x over 4y. Some people like to break these numbers up into smaller numbers. The 24, you can make 8 times 3 times x. The 48, you can make 8 times 6. 16, 8 times 2. And 32y, 8 times 4 times y. For some people, it's then easier to cancel. 8 goes into itself once. 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 2 goes into itself once. And 2 goes into 6 3 times. Still, when you now multiply the top, 1 times 3 times x times 1 times 3, it's still going to give me a 9x, and 1 times 1 times 1 times 4 times y is going to give me a 4y at the bottom. Same answer, a little bit more work. Please stop the video and get your brain around this problem. Please indicate whether you liked or disliked the video and subscribe to the channel. Remember, if you do run into a school mathematical problem that you can't solve, you can send a clear WhatsApp photo to this number and a clear WhatsApp photo of where you tried it. Then we will try and solve the problem and send back an answer to you as soon as possible. Enjoy mathematics.